Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Steph from the Hot Moon Podcast. And, we're going to talk about a little boxing. I don't know too much about it, but I figured this particular subject, got me interested, and I'm looking forward to it, right? So, we know influence of boxing, over the last year and a half, maybe going on 2 years, has been pretty popular right now. And, of course, the face of that has been Jake Paul, Logan Paul's little brother. And to Jake Paul's credit, he's definitely has taken it very seriously. People may question the opponents that he's faced. He's beaten them, he hasn't lost, and it doesn't really matter the opponent. Nonetheless, he's taken his chance. He's gotten in the sport. He's doing his training, and he also wants to dabble in UFC, and he's also signed a big deal for PFL, another MMA group out there. So he has this fight against Tommy Fury taking place February 26th in Saudi Arabia. I don't know too much about this Tommy Fury guy, but he only has 8 fights under his belt, and he's already talking about wanting to put Jake Paul in the ambulance. He did an interview on TMZ. You can check it out. And I know that Tom Fury is not a social influencer boxer to the level of or doesn't have the social media influence like the level of Jake Paul, right? So he is a boxer by trade. I know I read somewhere he's done some reality TV. You know what I'm saying? And I also looked on some forums, some blog sites that people are joking around that will he actually show up to this fight. Apparently, I guess he's used to ducking fights or something like that, or delaying fights. I'm not too familiar. If you know a little bit more about that, leave me some details in the comments. But just on the surface, right? Just as a fan who's interested in boxing and want to see Jake Paul fight, I find it very odd that he's coming out this strong against Jake Paul. Is there a beef that we don't know about, or is there a beef that I don't know about? And explain to me, why does he feel so strongly about beating Jake Paul and putting him in an ambulance? You know what I'm saying? He's only 8-0. Okay, it's not like this guy is 20-0. It's not like this guy has been boxing for the last 15 years. He's only 23 years old. Jake Paul is only 25, 26 years old. You know what I'm saying? I think this fight is probably even. You know what I'm saying? I think Jake Paul, which I'll be rooting for, rooting for Americans, especially Jake Paul, and want to see him be successful in this sport, right? And yeah, I think it's going to be a good test for him. I'm not saying it's going to be easy for Jake Paul to try to beat Tommy Fury, but I think he has a good shot. And I think he'll be able to hold his own. Even if Jake Paul loses, I don't think it's the end of the world. Technically, I guess Tommy Fury was supposed to be the more professional boxer, if I'm correct. But I think if he does win this fight, cool. You know what I'm saying? He'll be 7-0 or something like that, 8-0, 7-0, and then he will also have a win against another boxer. And I think that'll set him up to fight somebody else. I believe it was. Forgot the guy's name, but nah, man. I just think this Tommy Fury guy, talking like this, man, you better show up. You better show up and you better deliver. You know what I'm saying? Show up first, because there's a lot of people chattering that you may not show up. But you talking like this, your mouthpiece is this big. Hey, man, you better knock him out within the first 3 rounds. I don't see that happening. I think Jake Paul will probably win this fight, maybe a draw. And even if he loses, as long as he loses, by decision or something like that, that's totally fine. Invalidates Tom Fury running his mouth. I think this fight's gonna be a lot closer than people expect. But just my 2 cents. Anyways, guys, please leave a comment on your thoughts about this, and like and subscribe. I'm out. Peace.